All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're here with Mr. Mendez. He say he watched the show. Now, many of you looking like, okay, you have a Hispanic male with a Make America Great Again hat, Trump, and a lot of things that Trump and his people have said has been anti against people that look like him. So, first of all, how long have you been watching the show?
For years. For years, I've maybe a few years, couple years. I've watched you, and I admire your work. Definitely. We probably don't see eye to eye on everything politically, but for the most part, I admire what you do.
All right, so let's start off on the top, the Make America Great Again hat. Now, when, in your opinion, was America great?
A specific year I can't really give you, but I do remember there was a time where I could crack jokes and then, I wouldn't offend like 50 people to the point where they're throwing a tantrum and they're trying to look for for medical help because of a joke of what I said. Or I remember in the 80s there was a lot of work for people. There was a lot of, the economy was great. My dad could get a 6-pack of beer for $3 and be happy. I would say the 80s.
So during the 80s, especially at least in the black community, progressed the crack epidemic. But we know the CIA had put crack cocaine in the black community. It started off mass incarceration. A lot of people, I remember, that was hauled off to jail during the 80s. Families were broken apart. A lot of people were killed. Even in Hispanic communities as well, they had dealt with some of that also. So during that time period, which was very bad, you feel that was a good time in America?
For the most part, yeah, the economy was great. Anybody could start their business and not be overly taxed and not have to worry about this and that. As far as politics are concerned, I understand that there was a problem. Like I said, I don't know too much about that epidemic that you're talking about. I'm not saying you're wrong or nothing like that. I just don't know enough about it. This is the first time I've ever heard it. But I feel that for the most part, America was great during the 80s. But I do understand that there was some minuscule problems here and there.
So any person, we have people who's Latinos has watched, maybe they Puerto Rican, Mexican, Dominican, all due to the diaspora of the Latinos. So if they look at what you have on, and a lot of them, maybe some of their families have been deported by Trump, just maybe on technicalities, and they could be angry looking at what you got on right now. What would you say to the Latinos right now that could be watching?
I tell them they need to educate themselves. They need to wake the heck up. Okay, I personally feel that Democrats love to use minorities like me and like you to push their agenda. I mean, not to say that maybe there's some Republicans who are doing that well, but I don't trust Democrats. I think that they lie to my people. What my people want are their papers or citizenship. They promise it, they don't deliver. And with Republicans, for the most part, I could tell you they're in favor of legal immigration. They're not in favor of illegal immigration. And that's one of the reasons why I support them. And for my Latino community, I just got to say, wake up, educate yourselves.
So, earlier I think you told me you was from El Salvador, correct?
My family's from El Salvador. I was born here.
Are you first generation?
Yes.
Did your family, they've been here, so that means they came, legally or illegally?
They were granted political asylum because they were fleeing El Salvador from the civil war that was going on during that time. So they were granted political asylum.
Okay, so there are people that's fleeing right now from maybe Central America, and they want the same thing. Should that be granted, the same thing as granted to your family?
Yeah, I think they should go through the proper channels. Yes, if they go through the proper channels. There's no war right now in El Salvador. There's no war in Nicaragua. There's no war right now going on, except little crap here and there. But that's something that their government needs to do. That's something that their government needs to fix, which they're not fixing.
Okay, so if one of them that's watching right now and looking at you, they say, build a wall, enforce the law, create jobs for all, 2016 Trump president, they will call you right now and say, man, he is a sellout to Latinos. How would you respond to that?
I would say to stop drinking the leftist Kool-Aid, man, because that's information they're getting from the left. The left pushes the agenda that black people and Latino are only Democrat. That you can't be a Republican because you're representing the white man, I guess. And I'm against that. I'm against identity politics. I'm against that kind of mentality. I may be a Latino, but I never use my skin color. For anything, for any kind of influence or for any kind of benefit. I'm an American just like you, just like everybody else around. And I think that we should be treated equally. Americans should be treated equally.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here from Mr. Mendez here. He's stated his position. I'm pretty sure you guys, in the Latino community, what you think about it? You definitely can leave your comment. You want to leave your email for people to contact you on this one in your community?
Sure. theapostlesledge@gmail.com.
All right, don't leave hate mail in my inbox. Send it to him. I ain't got nothing to do with that. I'm just the interviewer.
This guy's the man. I love this guy. I admire his work, man, definitely.